Guys, Model Muppet here, how you doing? Before I go into this video, just a quick word to my regular viewers. I am going to be doing a vlog explaining why I haven't been putting videos up and stuff, and I've got some kind of exciting news for me, and I do appreciate the support I've been getting off a lot of you guys, I really do. So I'm going to do a vlog. Anyway, onto this video. I've been playing a shitload of Rome Total War, and I know this game got really bad reviews when it came out, and there was loads of problems. Had a lot of patches. It's on patch 15 now, and I'm having so much fun with it. So this video is having a look at an ambush that I set up, and I thought it'd be quite interesting and maybe even useful for people who are kind of newbie to games in general, and maybe a bit newbie to Total War games. So I'm having a look at setting an ambush. Now, basically, if you're looking for an ambush spot, just hover your mouse around the terrain, and if you just leave it there, it'll tell you what your ambush chances are. Now, interestingly as well, that unit that had the circle thing going around it, that unit is in forced march mode, and basically if you attack an army that's in forced march mode, it is an automatic ambush. And ambushes, they're really devastating. You can be so much more effective with them. Great fun to set up, really effective. So no further ado, let's just have a look and see what I did. Alright guys, so the situation here is I'm gonna win. It would be extremely shocking if I lost this, even for me. Right, so we know I'm gonna win, but the point of this is, how much of my forces am I going to lose? That's the important thing. And also, am I going to turn the enemy force into something that isn't going to be a problem? So basically, I need to annihilate this army. I need to kill their general, make sure they're not going to be an issue for me, and I need to retain as much of my forces as possible, because the situation is these forces, they kept on attacking me, kept on throwing army after army at me. They seem to have an endless supply of money, and so I've got like a few armies scattered around, so I have to retain as much of my forces as possible. So that's the dealio here. Now, we've already identified what the army has. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units of spear infantry. There was about 7 units or so of missile cavalry, and 1, 2, 3, 4 units of missile infantry. Now, the big problem I have is that I only have 1 missile unit. Long story, but basically, for anyone who's wondering why I don't have a very balanced army here, I was originally trying to push this army onto another place where I could recruit some better missile infantry, and this is where I started having problems, because I kept on getting attacked by these armies. So I kept on repeatedly finding myself in these situations where I didn't have any missiles to deal with them. So anyway, let's have a look at what my plan is, what my plan was, and what my advice would be for anyone who is as newbie at these kind of games as I am. Basically, what I decided was I need to use my melee cavalry and as quickly as possible annihilate their missile infantry. And I know that might sound really obvious, but I want to make sure that these missile infantry don't get to do any damage. The problem with the missile infantry that they have, these tribal slingers, is the range, which is 150, which is pretty decent. So even if I do let this ambush get out of control a bit, even though I've got the drop on them, those could still do a reasonable amount of damage. So I want to get those out of the way quickly. But more importantly than that is I want to try and break the morale. And if I can like eliminate 4 units really quickly, that will start to break the morale of the enemy. Now, with the melee cavalry up against the missile cavalry, the problem is that the missile cavalry move just as fast as the melee cavalry, and a lot of the time you end up getting embroiled in this long-running battle where you might not be taking huge amounts of damage, but equally you're not getting a chance to do huge amounts of damage. So that tends to make for a prolonged battle, which will probably go in your favor, but it can be really difficult tying these down. Now, in fact, when I looked at the score at the end of this, my general here, which is a heavy command, heavy melee cavalry, they killed about 2 people. They spent the entire battle chasing after 1 unit of missile cavalry. So that really wasn't beneficial for me at all. It wasn't a great use of time. So basically, like, I've got all the missile cavalry is going to attack these missile infantry and get them out of the way as quickly as possible. The spear infantry, I've got those coming in as well, but to try and sort of tie down and tie up some of these missile cavalry units, but I don't think that particular part of the plan did work very well. Now, I've got a couple of units tied up with these fireballs here, and ideally what I want to happen is these fireballs to hit their general. Failing that, to hit as much of the infantry as they can. And then these infantry can deal with the situation. So that's pretty much it. All cavalry on this side. And my infantry is all on this side. I mean, what I was hoping was that this sort of charge of the cavalry would make all the enemy kind of retreat back this way a bit. But, you know, best laid plans of mice and men don't quite happen like that. So let's unpause it and see how it plays out. So we can see that the units on the going for the missile infantry did the job straight away. We're 30 seconds into the battle, and let me just pause that a second. Yeah, 30 seconds into the battle, and those units are already ready to rout. Rout, I don't know how you say it. Flashing white there, all wavering, and in another few seconds, those are going to break and run away. You can see here that their missile cavalry has, you know, they're already running. So that spear infantry did absolutely nothing in trying to tie those down. And the same with the others. Basically, their missile cavalry is just too fast. We've got some little clash going on here. They're in combat, but they'll be able to get away from it. Now, I'm pausing this here on the replay, but I didn't really pause it in the battle itself. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Now, these fireballs rolling down the hill here, let's just see if we can have a quick recap of the damage that they've done. They took quite a reasonable chunk out of the general's unit. Took a bit of a chunk out of that unit. A massive chunk out of that unit. Nothing there. A little bit there. So they took a fair chunk out of those infantry units. I don't know if they managed to get any of these. Yes. No. 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 So now at this point, their spear infantry is going to be coming from my cavalry. I do have one unit of missile cavalry, like I said. But I'd ended up tying those up, chasing after their missile cavalry as well. But because mine are heavy, they didn't do a great job. They did get some kills in, but I think it was only at the end when the enemy had routed or routed. Wish I could make my mind up. So yeah, one thing I kind of need to do, I guess, is to make sure that those cavalry don't get bogged down by their infantry. Let's just carry on with the play. So their infantry is running up the hill here, which is tiring for them. My infantry do have a charge bonus when they're coming down. They're all starting to engage. Let's have a little pause again and see exactly what's going on. So yeah, still a little bit of clearing up going on with the missile infantry, but they're pretty much, you know, they're a spent force. I think I did still have that infantry unit trying to chase the cavalry, which wasn't gonna happen. Like I said, I didn't pause this during the actual playing of this though, so you have to forgive me for that. So yeah, those slingers are still alive. They are breaking though. They're routing, etc. Cavalry's coming in against the spear infantry. Now that's not good. That's not good. We can expect that cavalry is going to lose some men there. Infantry coming in here. That should be a decisive win. A few units coming down here. On pause again. So we've got one infantry unit of theirs is just broken. These spear infantry are going to break soon. What was interesting is I think they're getting a load of friendly fire from their own missile infantry is actually attacking their own general in the rear. Although they're obviously trying to hit my men, it seems as if they're getting attacked by their own guys as well. But we can see now everyone's breaking. Infantry units, they've had enough, you know. Their general is going to get taken care of. Their missile units have run away. So basically, you know, in under 2 minutes, it's over. And from this point on, it really was just the case of my cavalry units starting to chase down their cavalry units, because everything is gone. Everything is over. And this is why the ambushes are just like so effective. They're so much fun to do and plan out. They really are. So much fun to do and so effective for your game as well. But then, you know, it's game over. General's gone. All that's left of them is their missile cavalry. And now this is why I think was in this particular situation, it was actually more effective for me to do it this way than to attack their missile cavalry. You know, make them the ones that I wanted to attack first. So okay, it does mean that I've got a couple of minutes of chasing down these units, but they're all fed up. They're all tired. They're gonna die. And we'll have a look at the old scoreboard at the end and see how much damage they actually did. And it wasn't much. They did do some damage, yeah, but it wasn't much. And I think that if I'd gone the other way, if I'd concentrated on getting the enemy missile cavalry first, I think the slingers would actually have done far more damage, because they are far more effective at skirmishing away from the infantry and stuff. Anyway, so let's just advance this and we'll have a look at the scoreboard. So yeah, there's units scattered around all over. There we go. So let's end that replay and have a look at the scores here and see what happened. So I deployed 1,400 men. They deployed 1,800. I lost 139. They only killed 123. So I did have a few friendly kills from somewhere. Not entirely sure where those came from, but there wasn't enough. You're always going to get some, you know. But what's interesting is that my men killed 1,124 and they lost 1,375. So they had over 250 kills from friendly fire. It's quite interesting, I think. But if we have a look at what they actually killed of mine, it's all small amounts. Even their missile cavalry, like one unit killed 26, another killed 20, but the rest of them still didn't kill much. I think it's just because they were running around getting chased all the time. I don't know. Their missile cavalry the missile infantry killed 0. They were just like wiped out from the start. And even their infantry didn't manage to get many kills. I hardly had any losses. One cavalry unit, yeah, I lost like roughly about half of their men. Everyone else just lost a couple. Great fun. Great fun to do. Massively effective. You know, it's massively effective. If you're under pressure, ambush. It's the way to go. I will do another vid about handling an ambush. But let me know what you thought of this one, guys. And yeah, just let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. All right, this is Muppet out.